WTOK-TV, this is News Center 11.
Thousands of people and numerous businesses are still dealing with a boil water notice in Meridian tonight. What city officials are saying about why it happened.
But first, take a live look at the story making headlines worldwide. Tonight, the latest on that parking lot collapse outside a Meridian restaurant.
News Center 11 at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Wade Phillips.
And I'm Candace Barnett. Mayor Percy Bland has declared a state of emergency due to the collapse of the IHOP parking lot in Meridian.
That simply allows city crews to be able to go in and begin the work of getting the cars out of the pit while they investigate exactly why it happened in the first place. Now, we also got our closest look yet at the collapsed parking lot this afternoon. Our crews allowed up to the edge of that pit to get a better look at what happened. Aaron Morrison has our top story this evening.
He was the first reporter on scene of the collapse and has been there since. What's the latest, Aaron?
Now, Wade and Candace, as you can see behind me, still numerous vehicles stuck in this culvert that collapsed early Saturday or late Saturday evening, and we're still trying to figure out exactly what caused that problem as city officials and engineers work diligently over the next couple of days. Now, I spoke to Meridian Mayor Percy Bland earlier today, and he told me that the city is putting all their resources into working to resolve this issue, and that's why the state of emergency was issued. Now, we have received no new details on this incident that has called everyone's attention other than the state of emergency being issued, and that once engineers assess the damage, they'll be able to provide some sort of timeline into extraction of vehicles and repairs.
The state of emergency gave us the ability to move forward with starting the process of getting vehicles out, and also starting the process of having our engineers come in and assess the damage and to tell us exactly what happened here and how this breach occurred.
Now, Mayor Bland says he expects all of that to be resolved by Wednesday at the earliest, where they can then begin extraction of the vehicles that are actually situated inside of the collapsed parking lot. For now, city officials are still working to ensure that the citizens remain safe. Now, I did speak to the Mayor Bland just about 30 minutes ago, and he told me that the plans as of tomorrow begins with beginning to hold that building steady to where it doesn't go anywhere if anything does happen to this culvert in the near future, as well as Wednesday they will begin the extraction of those vehicles, hopefully, which could take anywhere from 4 hours to upwards to 6 hours. Wade and Candace.
All right, thanks, Aaron. Live tonight with the latest on this ongoing situation.
That's right. Again, this all happened about 7:15 Saturday night. At least 14 cars stuck in that hole right now, and as of this moment, we still don't know how or when the car owners were able to get their cars back fixed or replaced. Now, the owner of the IHOP says he plans to have it back open soon. Abdullah told us today he plans to begin work on the foundation Wednesday so he can have the restaurant back open as soon as possible. Also says he's received offers of help from many businesses in this community. Candace.
Well, and restaurants in the Bonita area are now back open after they lost their water Saturday night due to the parking lot collapse. The restaurants had to close early Saturday and stayed closed most of yesterday because they didn't have any water. Mayor Bland says water was restored about 6 o'clock last night. And coming up in 7 minutes, we'll take a look at the history behind that culvert that collapsed and why it had to be placed there in the first place more than a decade ago.
Now, News Center 11 weather with Chief Meteorologist Brian Hutton Jr.
It's been a cool and cloudy day for us today, but sunshine is going to return as soon as tomorrow as we finally get rid of the system that brought us all of the rain this weekend and the cooler temperatures we've seen to start this week. Our next cold front arrives on Thursday. That will bring our next round of rain and bring in cooler temperatures as we head into the weekend. This evening, though, temperatures are holding steady thanks to the clouds in place, and some patchy fog is possible overnight. I'll have your complete 7-day forecast for you in just a few minutes. Candace?
All right, thanks, Brian. A candidate for sheriff in Clark County is hoping to challenge election results after he was defeated in the general election. Kenneth Pearson says several voters have told him they were going to vote for him, but the voting machines cast a vote for winner Todd Kemp. He has filed paperwork with the Clark County Circuit Clerk's office and plans to submit it to the Secretary of State's office. Officials with the Circuit Clerk's office say Pearson is entitled to examine the poll books and all the voting paperwork. They say if irregularities are found, then Pearson can officially file a challenge.
I think that the voting was off a little bit that day, and I think that it warrants us a new election because of the situation and the occurrences that were taking place.
We were unable to reach Sheriff Todd Kemp for comment on this issue today.
Now, more charges are being filed against a man accused of committing multiple burglaries in Kemper and Lauderdale counties. Andy White now being charged with a total of 4 counts of burglary in Kemper. Over the weekend, he was charged with 2 additional crimes that dated back to February. He's also facing 2 attempted burglary charges and a home invasion charge there, along with 3 other burglaries that deputies say he'll be charged with in Lauderdale County. Well, Northeast Lauderdale Middle School held its first ever Veterans Day program today, thanking those who have served. The entire school worked together to prepare for the Veterans Day program and for the school getting to meet real heroes and listen to their stories. Learn about the sacrifices made to keep our country free is more than what they can receive from a textbook.
We're not just about reading, writing, and arithmetic. We're also about teaching our children to be good citizens. And part of that is, remembering those, honoring those who have served our nation, served our country, and have sacrificed for us.
Now, in addition, at the program were veterans from World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam, and Gulf Wars. Principal Moore wants to continue this program for many years to come. Now, our other big story we're following tonight, a boil water notice that is affecting thousands of residents and numerous businesses in the city of Meridian.
It happened overnight Sunday, not long after the parking lot collapsed, but city officials say it's not related to it. While many were left without water thanks to the collapse at IHOP, even more are having to boil their water. The city of Meridian has issued a boil water notice for everyone south of 20th Street, but officials are explaining that this notice has nothing whatsoever to do with the hole in IHOP.
They just happened to be at the same time. The other was because of a main water line that broke near the hospital. That was a whole different arena.
A release from the city says an 18-inch line break was what led them to issue the boil water notice. The issue is affecting a huge portion of Meridian. It's been an inconvenience for homeowners as well as many local businesses and restaurants. One major concern south of 20th Street is the hospitals, but officials at Anderson Hospital say they have emergency plans ready for situations like this. Hammond says they're working quickly to fix the problem.
They're working on that now. The completion date for that, it should be 2 to 3 days. They should have us back up and running.
In the meantime, the city says if you live in the affected area, you need to boil your water vigorously for at least 1 minute. If you're wondering for sure whether or not you're under the boil water notice, we have a map available in this story at WTOK.com. Well, gas prices jumped last week in Mississippi. What experts are saying about the rest of the month, coming up on News Center 11 at 6.
But next, more on the collapsed parking lot, a look at the history of that culvert that fell in, why it was there in the first place.
Temperatures warm up as sunshine returns starting tomorrow. Your forecast is next.
You're watching News Center 11 at 6 with Wade Phillips and Candace Barnett.
It may be the most talked about hole in America right now, but there's been a history of problems at that site long before. Well, as work continues to determine exactly what caused that culvert to collapse in the IHOP parking lot, we're looking at the reason it was there in the first place.
News Center 11 has learned that this is not the first for a drainage pipe in that area to cause some concerns. Tonight, News Center 11's Andrea Williams has more on the story.
2 days after the parking lot cave-in at the newly opened IHOP in Meridian, the collapsed pipe, which city officials say caused it, is in clear view. That crumpled pipe had actually replaced a much smaller one that had been there since the 1940s or 50s. The one that's now crushed was installed 14 years ago after some major flooding.
In January 1998, 3.5 inches of rain fell within 12 hours' time here in the Queen City, and this caused some major flooding in the parking lot of the Red Lobster restaurant. Now, if you look behind me, directly across the interstate, that's where the restaurant is located. At that time, there was a car dealership located here. It also had some flooding, and officials, the owner at least of the car lot, says that's when city officials realized they really needed to install a much bigger drainage pipe.
Now, the reason it came to play is they had cleared all the property where Bonita Lakes Mall is located, and the water could flow quicker than it had ever been able to flow to this point.
For 30 years, the Lincoln Mercury dealership that was owned by Billy Jack Etheridge's family was located at the site of the cave-in.
We would have lost probably $500,000 to $1 million worth of automobiles if we were still in business and this had happened.
He says installation of the current drainage pipe had statewide significance.
The one thing that we were told, there had never been a pipe that size installed in the state of Mississippi. This pipe was large enough that you could have driven an 18-wheeler through it.
City officials say the pipe was 18 feet tall, 27 feet wide, and it set in a trench that was 320 feet long. Andrea Williams, News Center 11.
That collapsed culvert was installed in 2001. All right, now Brian joins us for weather. And what are we looking at now, Brian?
Well, still cloudy out there for us, and clouds will linger overnight. That'll keep temperatures up, but sunshine is returning. So there's some good news, and with the sunshine comes warmer temperatures as well. Today made it only to 58 degrees. That's thanks to the clouds. Started off at 53, so a whopping 5-degree temperature swing for us today. A little bit bigger, though, as we head into tomorrow, as we finally see sunshine returning. Still cloudy indicator on our Alpha Insurance Sky Cam from East Central Community College. And again, clouds will hold overnight and into the day tomorrow as well. And that is going to keep temperatures up, at least again for the time being overnight. Underneath that cloud deck, though, no rain for us to worry about. Southern Pine Electric Power Radar has a clear scan from all 4 area radars. There was some drizzle earlier this morning. That exited as our area of low pressure continues to push off to the east. In its wake, just a cooler air that's been sitting in and over top of us, and this being reinforced by northerly winds between about 3 and 8 miles per hour area wide. These will die down overnight and could allow some patchy fog to develop. Not expecting a lot of fog tonight, but again, some areas will see some fog as we head towards sunrise tomorrow morning. Temperature-wise, fairly uniform across East Mississippi and West Alabama. Really haven't moved much about the last couple of hours. Cool spots, Louisville at 54, warm spot down the road on Highway 14, 59 degrees currently in Macon. Everybody else between 55 and 58 degrees. And so again, temperature's really not going anywhere thanks to the cloud deck. Compared to this time yesterday, we're slightly cooler across East Mississippi and West Alabama as well. And moisture is holding at about the same pace as well. Most of our dew points sitting in the lower 50s. So as the temperature drops off and approaches our dew point, some fog will develop overnight. Again, nothing really extremely dense, as the dew points will also be dropping as well to allow us to bottom out tonight into the 40s. So let's take you through future casting. Again, overnight tonight, we'll bottom out into the upper 40s. Tomorrow morning by 7 o'clock, upper 40s area wide. So as you head off to work or the kids head off to school, probably want the jacket tomorrow morning. Won't need it in the afternoon, as we'll climb back into the 70s as sunshine returns across the area. So a beautiful Tuesday for us. Nice Wednesday in store for us as well. Again, a chilly start, starting off in the 50s. And as we head through the afternoon hours, though, we'll make it actually to our high temperature tomorrow by lunchtime. Mid-70s in store for your Veterans Day before our next cold front arrives overnight Wednesday into Thursday. So 47 tonight, chilly and cloudy with some areas of patchy fog, a very light north wind. For your Tuesday, 72. Those clouds in the morning will give way to lots of afternoon sunshine. So a lot warmer than where we have been for the last couple of days. Again, winds will stay light from the north and east. For your Veterans Day on Wednesday, again, just a few clouds out there at 75. Cold front arrives overnight Thursday. We should be dry by Thursday morning. We at 70 degrees for a high on Thursday. The cooler air ushers in behind the front, and one of our coolest blasts so far. 65 Friday, 59 on Saturday. We'll start the day in the upper 30s. Then we rebound to the 60s Sunday, and Monday's lows head back to the 40s. So Saturday looks to be one of the coolest days we've had so far with actual sunshine involved.
All right.
It's manageable when there's sunshine.
Yeah, it makes it feel a lot warmer than it actually
No doubt.
is, so
No
not
doubt.
bad.
Great. Thanks, Brian.
All right.
Well, gas prices went up in Mississippi, but experts say it's only a temporary blip.
The average price of a gallon of gas in Mississippi jumped about 8.5 cents last week. Prices still 3 cents lower than they were this time last month. They're 72 cents lower than they were a year ago. Experts say we should expect to see prices be lower in time for the holidays. They're still below $2 in both Mississippi and Alabama, $1.98 in Mississippi, 2 cents lower in Alabama. The national average right now is $2.21. What Governor Phil Bryant is saying about new EPA regulations. That's coming up on News Center 11 at 6.
And next, this video of an arrest in Tuscaloosa has gone viral. What police are saying about what happened. News from around Alabama now. This video is from an arrest in Tuscaloosa Saturday night. You can see officers using a stun gun and baton during the arrest. Officers at the door apparently argued for several minutes with the occupants and refused to exit. Officers then stormed the residence and drug out 2 men and a screaming woman. They were arrested, but their names and charges have not been released. Police in Tuscaloosa say they are investigating this incident. Wade.
Now the news around Mississippi. The state is pushing back against new environmental regulations by the Obama administration. The Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality has filed a petition to stay in their challenge of the EPA's Clean Power Plan. That plan forces states to develop plans to reduce carbon dioxide regulations by 2030. Governor Phil Bryant says it would hurt ratepayers in Mississippi. The state's among 24 to be challenging that plan. All right, Lindsay's here now with a look at sports. Lindsay, what do you have for us?
Well, tough to top the crater sinkhole, but we will see what we can do in sports. MSU and Bama are rolling as they get ready for Saturday's matchup in Starkville. The UWA men's soccer team is celebrating a championship, and Ole Miss head coach Hugh Freeze talks about the wild finish in Oxford Saturday.
This News Center 11 live stream news is brought to you by Bullock Toyota in downtown Louisville.
At Bullock Toyota, we know that buying a vehicle is one of the biggest decisions you will make in your lifetime. That's why we want to make it easy and exciting for you throughout the whole buying process.
With our sales and service team, our Bullock Auto Group app, our free pickup and delivery, our lifetime powertrain warranty, and our free lifetime oil change, you'll be glad you chose us because we love our customers like friends and family. From my generation
to my generation, we strive to amaze you.
Come see us at Bullock Toyota in downtown Louisville.
Now, News Center 11 Sports with Sports Director Lindsey Hall.
Welcome back in, everyone. Following its 31-13 victory last Thursday at Missouri, in a chaotic Saturday in college football, Mississippi State climbed to number 20 in this week's Associated Press Top 25 poll. Not only that, the Bulldogs are actually back in the SEC West Division race and can shake things up a lot if they can defeat Alabama this weekend in Starkville. MSU is now 7-2 overall, 3-2 in the West, and arguably playing some of the best ball of anyone in the league. Since stumbling at Texas A&M last month, the Dogs have steamrolled 4 straight opponents. And there's a new leader in the SEC West as Alabama dominated LSU Saturday in Tuscaloosa, taking a 30-16 victory over the previously second-ranked Tigers. The Tide defense completely shutting down Heisman frontrunner Leonard Fournette, limiting him to only 31 yards on 24 carries. On the flip side, Bama tailback Derrick Henry climbed into the Heisman race with a career-best 210 yards on the ground while scoring 2 touchdowns. The Tide can win the West, but will have to do it on the road with games still left at State and at Auburn. And that leads us to this week's AP Top 25. Clemson, the number 1 team. And there's Ohio State, Bama, Baylor, Oklahoma State. LSU falls to number 9. Utah holds down the 10 spot. Mississippi State, as we mentioned, they move up a few notches in the poll. Florida remains 11. The new college football ranking comes out tomorrow. Well, it will be a play that will be talked about for many years to come. Arkansas stunning Ole Miss Saturday in Oxford as the Razorbacks won a shootout over the Rebels, 53-52 in overtime, down to a 4th and 25. The Razorbacks somehow managed a first down on this crazy play and would later add a touchdown and 2-point conversion to nip the Rebels. Today, Ole Miss coach Hugh Freeze addressed the legality of the play.
Yes, the interpretation is based on whether or not it was a lateral or a fumble, and in their interpretation, and I would agree it was a lateral, it was a backwards pass.
Now, after playing 10 straight weeks, the 7-3 Rebels will take a well-deserved week off. Their November 21st home contest against LSU will kick at 2:30. Well, just when New Orleans had gotten back in the NFC South Division race, the Tennessee Titans delivered a huge blow to the Saints' playoff chances. Rookie Marcus Mariota returned from injury to throw for 371 yards and 4 touchdowns, including the game winner in overtime, as the Titans came away from the Superdome with a 34-28 victory.
When you lose the turnover battle, we did today. You know, we got 1, lost 2. Can't execute just a simple field goal. I mean, you know, it's going to be up and down. You know, and so to get that consistency that we're looking for, we're going to have to be better in a lot of areas.
The Saints are now 4-5 on the season, and they'll travel to Washington to face off against the Redskins this Sunday. Well, the University of West Alabama men's soccer team claimed its second straight Gulf South Conference tournament title with a 2-0 victory over West Florida in the championship game Sunday. Now, the Tigers, who also earned the regular season GSC title, improves to 10-6-2 overall. They will next take part in the NCAA Division II South Regional this weekend down in Palm Beach, Florida. And on the links, Peter Malenti was declared the winner today at the PGA Sanderson's Farm Classic in Jackson. The rain-plagued event went into its 5th day, and play was halted due to darkness around 5. William McGirt and David Toms finished tied for second. A large portion of the proceeds from the event going to the Blairy Batson Hospital for Children in Jackson. And Texas Autumns continue to be kind to Jimmy Johnson. The 6-time Cup champ won the fall race at Texas for the 4th straight year Sunday, passing Brad Keselowski's dominant car with 4 laps to go to pick up the victory. Johnson already has been eliminated from earning one of the 4 spots in the chase for the Sprint Cup Championship finale in 2 weeks. Jeff Gordon has already clinched a spot. Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, and Martin Truex Jr. are the next 3 in the standings. And congratulations go out to Coach Jeannie Skelton down at Quitman, the girls' coach there. She picked up career win number 800 over this past week.
She's been doing it a long time.
Unbelievable. Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks, Lindsay. Well, more on the collapse of the IHOP parking lot coming up next on News Center 11 at 6.
The story has gone worldwide, just how popular it's become.
One final check of your forecast is after the break.
We'll update you on the latest developments on the collapse at IHOP and what's happened tonight. That developing story tonight at 10.
And finally this evening, if you're on social media or watch the national news, you probably have seen how big this story has become both nationally and now internationally. For the 3rd straight day, Meridian, Mississippi is a trending topic on Facebook. Our stories at the WTOK Facebook page have gotten thousands of shares. The story's been on stations across the state and nation, even internationally. I actually did an interview on BBC Radio in England today. How you like them apples?
And tell everyone what they're impressed by.
They were very impressed by our red dirt. Well, that's the thing that stood out to them, just old Mississippi red clay. What do you have for us, Brian?
More on IHOP. No. Clouds clearing today, tomorrow sunshine, 72 tomorrow, 75 for your Veterans Day. Cold front comes early Thursday, then ushers in much cooler weather as we head to the weekend.
All right. Thanks a lot, Brian. That's all the time we have for now.
Be sure to join us again right here at 10 o'clock.